Sherri, thanks again for joining the Okotoks podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And I say again because last week we tried to meet with you and I had some technical issues. So now you've scheduled yourself twice for this. So I certainly appreciate that.
No problem.
Sherri, you work at the Okotoks Family Resource Centre.
I do. Yes.
Yes. And now I know social media doesn't lie, but according to your LinkedIn page, you've been there for 21 years and 11 months.
I have been here for a very long time.
Yeah.
I started part-time when my children were very little, and I've just gradually added more days as they've gotten older, and I'm here full-time now.
Right. Well, for those who aren't familiar, can you tell us what the Okotoks Family Resource Centre does and who it serves?
Yeah, so we're here for anyone in Okotoks that has questions, that would like guidance, that would like information. There's no exclusion criteria or inclusion criteria. So if you have a question, you're welcome to contact us. We're kind of a clearinghouse for information. We can guide you or navigate you to services that would best meet needs. And in addition to that, we have some of our own programs. So between the combination of what we have to offer and what we know the community offers, but what people may not know about, we can guide people to social services, government programs that meet their needs.
Now, is it just government programs that you direct people to, or is there sometimes there's a program that's not a government funded program that you would direct people to in town just to bring awareness to them?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay.
So yeah, if people have a question, we pull the data out of our brains and we'll give them options that we're aware of regardless of the source.
Right. So are you predominantly dealing with people that are new to town and don't know of the services that the town offers?
We have some newcomers. We also have a lot of clients who have been here all of their lives, but something has happened in their life that has created a change, and now they don't know what services are available to them. We work with a lot of seniors who have things changing in their lives, who may need some additional supports. We deal with some families. I couldn't even name a typical client because we get them from all over the spectrum.
They're all over. Yeah, because when I go onto the website, I have a hard time figuring out where your tab stops. And by tab, I mean by what you guys do and the services that you provide. So if somebody's in need, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's maybe even mental health issues that they're struggling with, is it typically people that just don't have the finances to find the help? Or maybe is it sometimes people just don't know where to go when they're dealing with a certain situation?
I'd say it's largely the second. When we first opened in 2000, the reasoning behind our service opening was that there were tons of services available in Okotoks and the surrounding community, but people just didn't know that they were there or didn't know how to access those services. So we're here kind of, I would say, at the top of the funnel. We're here, we're funneling people into the most appropriate services so that they aren't wasting time going down avenues that aren't appropriate to them, pulling their hair out because they aren't being served.
For sure.
Yeah, so we'll give that information, set them on the right track so they can get the services they need.
Right. Yeah, because I imagine some of the challenges even that families are facing these days when it comes to housing, inflation, cost of living. Like if somebody's got questions, they would come to the Okotoks Family Resource Centre and you would direct them to the appropriate people that would help their specific needs.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah, we can do that by making a phone call with them to start the process. Sometimes we just will give them a list of different resources. And sometimes the solutions for the problems are right here in our office.
Right.
With the programs that we offer.
Right. Do people sometimes struggle finding you or do people always? Yeah.
I would say that they do. I think that's a common problem. We've been around for so long, but we still hear regularly that people didn't know we were here and they wish they'd known about us 10, 15 years ago.
Absolutely. Now, who funds you guys? Is this a government organization or do you raise funds yourself or?
So we are funded by health. We're located in a health building. So we get some funding and space here from Alberta Health Services. We're also funded by the town of Okotoks, and we access various grants for programs and services that we offer. We also rely on some community donations to offset
Right.
the cost of our programs.
Right, for sure. I see that like the Sheep River Health Trust is also part. They support what you guys are doing as well. It seems like you guys kind of maybe work a little bit hand in hand. I know you're a little bit different, but still directing
Yeah,
people to the right.
Yeah, we accessed their funding the last couple of years. We don't have their funding this year, but they've been
Okay.
a remarkable program support for us.
Right. What services or programs do you wish more people in the community knew about?
So our programs are in office are really quite good. And I would say that a lot of people do know about our programs. Our two main ones would be the volunteer driver program.
Okay.
And that is a program anyone can access to get transportation to medical appointments outside Okotoks. So we have a lot of people that don't have vehicles or they're really just not comfortable driving in the city, but we want to make sure they can still access their medical appointments. So we've got an amazing team of about, it varies, but usually about 25 drivers
Okay.
who will volunteer to take people according to their schedule. That program is really quite busy. We did do stats on that program. I'm just looking that up for you quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, so we did 722 drives last year.
Really?
Yeah, outside Okotoks.
Okay.
And that was serving 155 people that accessed that program. And our volunteers for that program are amazing. We used about 2,400 hours
Wow.
from them, just
Yeah.
driving people back and forth.
Yeah. And that'd be taking them to like any kind of appointment they may have in Calgary or
High River.
someone coming High River to Okotoks or you name it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be cancer treatments, hospital visits, specialist appointments, all of those types of things.
Right. So when I go on your website, like there's a tab there that, you know, it drops down. Like, are you guys responsible for all those things? Like, and I might be mistaken there, but when I click on the tab there, it says Snow Heroes. Is that something that is a part of what you guys do as well?
So we do the registration for that program. Anyone in Okotoks that is struggling to keep up with snow removal can apply for a sign. We don't do a match anymore. We used to do that through our office where everyone would get a dedicated snow hero. But now we distribute the signage and we do messaging with the town of Okotoks, of course, for everyone to be a snow hero. So just be aware of those signs. Be aware of your neighbors.
Right.
Do the right thing and help out.
So how many signs? So each sign represents a household, I guess. Like how many signs would you put out every year?
Yeah, well, we were surprised that, and this is one of the programs I think we need to promote even more. Last year we only had 25 signs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we know there's bigger need out there, and we would love to distribute signs really to anyone that has them, because all it's doing is it's raising awareness that someone has a limitation and could use a little bit of help.
Well, let's just hope that maybe there's not so many signs because neighbors are helping those people out already, right?
Yeah.
And let's just, So
And we also didn't have a lot of snow. So we find when there's big snowstorms, people come to us, but we didn't get a lot of significant snowfalls last year.
Okay, this might be a trick question for you.
Great.
Okay, you ready? Okay, so just in my research on you and on the Okotoks Family Resource Centre, 10 years ago, you were on YouTube and you said you helped 67 families at Christmas time with your Christmas support program. Now that sounds like you're inside of that, you're funding people, you're giving them gift cards, you're giving them an event to go to, and you're just providing. Now it's still on the website, so I'm sure that that's still happening, your Christmas support program. Is that correct?
No.
It's not. Okay.
No, we need to fix that.
Okay.
So we did used to do that. We just couldn't manage it out of our office anymore, and new services came in. So that's one of the interesting things about the Resource Center. Because we're tax funded, we just try to fill in places where there aren't existing services. So a few years ago, other services came in that were very interested in providing Christmas supports. So we politely backed ourselves out. And now our role is helping to coordinate all of those other service providers. We organize a couple of meetings a year with them. We make sure they all know each other, that there isn't a lot of duplication of services. We arrange for a kind of a joint ad for making people aware of what services are available, but we are no longer a direct provider of Christmas service.
Okay, for sure. What are some misconceptions that people might have about the work you do and the families that you do serve?
A lot of people think that we are the government, They think
Right.
that we are income support or we are which we're not. We just try to help people with the applications, with questions that come up, and with advocacy towards those organizations. That's probably the biggest one. What else? I wouldn't say there's a lot of misconceptions other than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just who we are. We are a municipal service, not a provincial or a federal service.
Right, right. And no doubt, like, the people that you are serving, they're really coming to you at a very desperate time. And
Many times, yes.
I would imagine that brings a lot of different scenarios and different things like that. But no doubt there's times when your job must be rewarding when you help somebody out, you point them in the right direction, and maybe you get them back on their feet again, whether that's because of physical problems, mental health issues, or even financial. I know that there's a portion of things that you do that if people are really struggling and if they meet the qualifications, that there is some financial aid there as well.
Yes, there is a limited amount of financial aid, which can provide us a kind of a stopgap while we work to get other resources in place.
Right.
But yeah, that's the reason frontline workers like to stay frontline. We like that human interaction.
Yes.
We like seeing the impact that what we do has on the clients that we serve.
Absolutely. Where's your office located?
So we're in the Okotoks Health and Wellness Centre.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been in this office since that building opened.
Right. Yeah, we certainly, I'm sure when people are coming to see you that it's not the greatest of circumstances every time. But I think it's so important that the people of Okotoks and surrounding area, because you're not just, even though we're called the Okotoks Family Resource Centre, you guys also serve High River, Diamond Valley, the foothills area as well.
So High River has a center quite similar to ours.
Okay.
We're considered under the umbrella of Family and Community Support Services, and most communities across Alberta have an FCSS, that's
Okay.
the acronym for Family and Community Support Services office. And FCSS offices kind of tailor-make programs according to what they see as the need in their own communities. The funding for FCSS is usually 80% provincial, and then the municipalities sign on by providing 20%
Right.
of the funding.
Right.
And so High River has a great office, and they are very aware of their own local services. But yes, we do see a lot of Foothills County residents. We also do see Diamond Valley residents in our office. And we get calls all the time, even from Calgary, and often from various healthcare workers in Calgary that have clients out here that are looking to set their clients up with success with programs in their local community.
Right.
So we're educating those workers so they can share that information and send their clients into us.
Right. Are you guys dealing a lot with housing issues, people looking for, rentals that are affordable? Is that becoming more and more as we grow and Okotoks gets bigger?
Yes.
More of an issue?
Yes. It wasn't a very big issue at all 20 years ago. We rarely saw that.
Right.
And I would say for probably about the last 10 years, the pulse on that has quickened. We're seeing more and more of it. Last year was probably our worst year for not being able to help people. There was just no availability, no stock. The prices were high. This year seems to be a little bit better so far. We do have a lot of new builds
Okay.
that are coming on stream for purpose-built rentals, and that's helping. But the affordability piece is still an issue.
What are ways that Okotokians can support what you guys are doing? No doubt there's ways that they can support financially, and then no doubt also in ways that they can help volunteers, such as the driving program that you do have.
Yeah, so that driving program, I can't say enough good about those volunteers. We also have amazing volunteers with our community volunteer income tax program.
Okay.
And that's a program that does taxes for lower income people free of charge.
Very good.
And we have wonderful volunteers with that program. I think we've done about almost 400 tax
Okay.
returns for people through this office, through
Is
our
that right?
volunteers. Yeah. So the impact that has on low income families is huge because,
Yes.
as you know, you need to file taxes to get some of your seniors' benefits,
Yes.
your child benefits, GST. Big shout out to those volunteers. So volunteering is huge. Yes, we love that. People can make a donation to our center, and that would go towards general operations or sometimes volunteer recognition. And one of the best things that we just wish everyone would do is make people that you know aware that we're here. If you're helping someone, or if you're aware of a family member or a neighbor that has an issue, spread the word. We're here and we'll help navigate. All of our services are free of charge, and we would love to help people get to the right door.
Right. Yeah. And that's exactly why we wanted to have you on and just get the word out about the services you guys do provide. It is such a valuable thing. Like, you would hope that people would never have to come see you. But we are living in a day and age where, yes, people do need help on many different levels. And what a good resource just to have you guys being able to direct you to the right people, or maybe providing the service right where you're at. And it's such a great thing. And yeah, I guess, as I've talked about on previous podcasts, like, this podcast for me is starting to dive a little bit deeper into the services that the town offers, the great organizations that are in this town, and the people that are in this town, right? And that certainly goes for you, Sherri, being in this role for over 21 years. It's such a great service, and we hope that the word continues to grow as people find where you're located, and the ones that are really struggling. A lot of times some people are, very prideful, and they won't reach out until they're in a desperate situation. So we do thank you for what you're providing for the people that are hurting in our town.
Yeah, well, thank you. And there's no stigma for coming here. Like, people come here for all sorts of reasons. It could be because they've had a relationship change, and it could be because they need to help finding housing. It could be because they do need the financial supports,
right.
Or just could be because they just need somebody to talk to.
For sure.
We need that too.
Yeah.
So we just want people to know that in Okotoks, we are resource rich. Really, any social service door that you go to could be the right door, just because we know each other so well in this community. We've got amazing resources, and we'll make sure people get where they need to go. So
for sure.
If you've got questions, please come.
Yeah, that's great.
You.
Sherri, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and certainly appreciate what you do and what you do for this town. And every week that we've run the podcast, I've had the ability to meet some great people and find out what they're doing, and just seeing their heart and their passion for what they are doing. So we do thank you for what you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For sure. Pleasure. Well, thanks for coming on, Sherri.
All right. Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.